Tonight, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports.
It is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That's going to set him back 5 yards. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to pump this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. The numbers for Evans a week ago. 7 catches, 121 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them.
Now Burrow loses the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz got his man complete over the middle. It's Weaver. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Wentz now on first down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now Joe Mixon. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for Mixon last week: 19 carries, 78 yards.
And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, "Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball."
And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. For one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
It'll be a gain of 5, but they're still left with a long 4th and goal. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield, because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On first down, Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And Wentz going to slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years of not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10. Here's Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Oh, now Miller slow in getting up. He's still down on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Gets around him. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Mike Evans in the Tampa offense about to set up shop.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
DJ Reader there on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with the referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball, and if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
A gain of 3, second down. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense.
I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with the crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about.
On second down, here's Mixon. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the Bengals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw is caught here by Anderson. And Burrow's saying, let's go, let's go. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow to Mixon on the check down.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
A draw play for Mixon, and this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Uzama. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 17-yard line.
This this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Over the middle, complete. That's Anderson. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. McPherson's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one unless there's another defensive penalty.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. So we have reached half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because
on Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 33. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
From the 36, Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this is going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
from just shy of midfield. Wentz. He finds his man complete. That's Weaver. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. From the red zone now, Wentz. He finds his man complete. That's Glover. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down now, it's Jones. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play. And go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 28, and they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he whips that one incomplete there.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Now Wentz on third down. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now a dump off here complete, and they're able to get this one across the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. That catch good for only a couple.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
On third down, Burrow. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is brought in at the 21. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Wentz now on first down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw again on second down. Wentz. Flush to his right. And Wentz going to slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Over the middle to Evans. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On second and a yard. Wentz. And incomplete on the deep ball. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
At about the 32.
Out of the gun, he'll throw.
There's a short one caught by Uzama. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now Burrow on 1st down.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. There's a short one caught by Uzama. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow with the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Burrow will throw.
Slant pass to Burrow.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. Here's a give to Mixon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow.
Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it.
And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're giving the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Mixon.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On second and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. Here's Burrow. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon,
his 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Bengals are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Evan McPherson for the extra point.
And he's got it to make it 27-13. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On first down, Hawkins. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hawkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On third down, it's Hawkins. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This to make it a 3-score game late.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that'll push the lead up to 17. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Tampa Bay, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on